This tutorial is going to show you how to recreate an iWeb made website in EverWeb. As iWeb creates a website in a unique way, there is really no program that will allow you to import an iWeb website into a different website builder. This tutorial will definitely help you get started and show you how you can easily recreate your iWeb website in EverWeb. Let's take a look at an example. I'm going to assume that you want to have pretty much the same looking website in EverWeb as you do in iWeb. Feel free to modify or update your iWeb website in EverWeb as you please. On the left, we have an iWeb website. This is a fairly basic website, and yours may have more items in it, but the principles will be the same. As we're going to be rebuilding our website, we will start by using the blank template in EverWeb. First, click on the Create a New Website button, and then select the blank template from the top. Next, select the homepage style and click Select. The first thing you'll want to do is set up the page in EverWeb so that it is the same as a page in iWeb. In iWeb, click on the Inspector button. Then click on the Page tab and then the Layout tab. You'll see here that there are two numbers which are of interest to us, which we're going to take over from iWeb into EverWeb. The first is the top and bottom padding number. In this case, it's 10px, or pixels. Pixels are used both in iWeb and EverWeb, so you can use the same values in each. I'm going to take this value as the top margin in EverWeb. If the value is 0, then leave the value as 0 in EverWeb as well. The second number I'm going to take is the content width. In this example, it's 684, so I'll put 684 into the content width field in EverWeb. I'm going to leave the other page layout values as they are, but if you want to change any of them, please feel free to do so, although usually it's not necessary. Now let's set the page background and our browser background. If your page background in iWeb is white, you can leave this as it is. But if it is a different colour, you can change it in EverWeb by clicking on the colour swatch in the page background heading and selecting the colour that you want. The same approach is used for the browser background. Just click under the browser background to change the colour. In my example, I want the background browser colour to be the same in EverWeb as it is in iWeb. To do this, I can use the digital colour meter. Open this by pressing Command and Spacebar and typing in the word digital colour meter. Double click on the app to launch it. You'll also notice that there are three values shown, an R, G and B, which stand for red, green and blue. When using digital colour meter, make sure that display in generic RGB is set. Hover your mouse over the colour that you want to record the values for, and make a note of the R and G and B values. Once you have noted the values, go back into EverWeb, under Browser Background, and click on the colour swatch. This will bring up the colour picker, and if you click on the second icon, you'll see RGB sliders. This is where you can enter the RGB values that you've obtained in iWeb. As you enter the values in the boxes, you'll see that the browser background actually changes until it matches up with the background that we have in iWeb. If your iWeb website uses a tiled image file for its background, we can set this up in EverWeb as well. First of all, publish your iWeb website to a local folder and select View Site Now at the end of the process. We're going to come back to this later, as some of the elements on the browser we can directly drag and drop into EverWeb to recreate the elements that we want. Now for the tiled background, we go back into EverWeb and select Browser Background. Where you see Color Fill, we're going to change that to Image Fill. And as you see the display changes, choose to choose a file and select Choose Again. Then navigate to the location of your image file on your local hard disk. And in my case, it's under My Site, Eden Dentists. And here is one of the first web pages, which is the welcome page. And you can see here we have the background file that I used in iWeb. Click Open to select it. As you can see, nothing's changed here, but it's now using a tiled file instead of a color fill. With the page dimensions and background color set, now we'll copy and paste the rest of the page contents over from our browser. We can start the process just by dragging and dropping images from our browser directly into the editor window in EverWeb. As you can see here, I'm dragging and dropping 4 separate images into EverWeb in approximately the places where I want them to be. You'll notice that there are 3 shapes in the browser. I'm going to recreate these in EverWeb directly, and I'm going to do this using the Shapes button in the toolbar menu. Click on the rectangular shape, and a rectangular shape then appears in the main body area. Drag and drop this to where you want it and resize it as you wish. If I want, I can copy this shape using Command C to copy and Command V to place. And again, I can drag and drop this to where I want it. Here you can see I've created a 3rd shape, which I'm going to elongate and make less deep, as this is going to be my shape in the header area. To move it, hold the Command key down and drag and drop it from the main body area into the header area. To complete our work with shapes, use the digital color meter to change the color of each shape to match those that you see in the browser on the left. Now you can see the results of our work. The last task we need to complete now is the copying and pasting of all the text from the browser into EverWeb. Once you have taken all the text over from the browser into EverWeb and restyled it, there are only a couple of other things that we need to do to finish the project. The first thing I'm going to do is just copy and paste the title from the browser into EverWeb. And as you can see here, when I copy and paste, I just resize the box, and to move it into the header area, I hold the Command key down whilst I drag and drop. Then I just resize the text as I want it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the menu. And I'm going to do this using one of EverWeb's own widgets. From the Widgets tab, I just drag and drop the navigation menu widget onto the page, and then I just move it into place. Check out our videos on the navigation menu widget for more details about how to use it and customize it. Now I'm going to go back to the Widgets tab, and I'm going to add a Google map. Just drag and drop the widget in place, resize it on the screen, and then go to the widget settings and enter the address that I want in the box. When I'm finished, just click Apply, and the map will change to show the correct location. I've almost finished my page. All I need to do now is the last task, and that's to put in the vertical line that you see in the browser here in the same place in EverWeb. Once again, I'm going to go to the Shapes button in the toolbar and click on the line icon. As it's horizontal, I want to make it vertical, so I use the metrics inspector to make the rotation 90 degrees. Just move that into its place and then drag and drop the line to make sure that it's long enough. And essentially my page is complete. With the page complete, go to the web page list and secondary click. That's using a right click with your mouse. You'll see a submenu, select duplicate, and this will create a copy of the page for you. You can then take the second page from your iWeb website and transfer it in the same way as you did with the first page we just made. It's preferable, however, to get to know master pages in EverWeb. Master pages act as template pages, and this will save you a lot more time and effort when recreating your iWeb website in EverWeb. Finally, if you have a blog in your iWeb website, this can also be transferred over easily and quickly into EverWeb. Again, please check out our tutorials on how to do this.